You know, sitting quietly in a house of worship like this, looking at these beautiful stained glass windows, it's almost impossible not to be inspired. These windows are part of St. James Episcopal Church on Wilshire Boulevard, and are representative of magnificent windows found in churches and synagogues all over Southern California. The question is, where do these windows come from? It's a craft that's been passed down through the years. A finely detailed process that requires great skill and patience. And here at the Judson Studios in Highland Park, they've been making stained glass windows for 4 generations. William Lees Judson, who was the first dean of USC's College of Fine Arts, started it all back in the late 1800s. And today, his great-grandson is continuing the tradition, operating out of a building that's a cultural historical landmark. This place is kind of old-timey. I don't know how else to put it. It's kind of like going back in time when you go through this place.
Yes, it is.
Do you keep it this way on purpose, or is this just the way it has to be?
Well, we did add electricity. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. We make a pattern. In fact, we make 3 patterns from the full-size drawing. This is one of them, and this is the one that's kept open to keep track of pieces. And to cut the glass, we need patterns. And this, for instance, is a pattern that fits exactly onto here. And we've used shears that cut out a little piece of paper in between this and the next piece to make this pattern the exact size of the piece of glass that we're going to be cutting. And you can see the pattern is actually part of the body of the Christ child here. And we keep it in track by a number here, that's number 47, and then the number down below that, 139-3, is the color number.
I love all of these colors. How many different colors of glass do you have to work from?
Well, in our bins, we probably have more than 1,000 different colors.
1,000 colors, and they go everywhere from, what would this be? Look at this.
Well, that's a selenium color. And
selenium.
Selenium is a metal that makes a number of different colors. That's sort of a middle selenium. Every time we get a shipment in from England, especially because the colors vary so much, it's like Christmas time. We have these boxes and we open them up and
everybody's going around.
Look at that one. Sheet after sheet, because the English glass varies considerably.
You use a lot of English glass?
Yes, most of the glass that we use is from Sunderland, and we also use glass from West Virginia and France and Germany and even Seattle, Washington. Now here's something interesting. This is a panel that was made by an artist back in 1910 to prove to my grandfather that he knew all the techniques of stained glass. His name was Brain, and he was an artist for Tiffany back in New York, and he wanted to come to California. And so he sent this panel to my grandfather.
To show him what kind of work he could do.
Exactly.
I hope your grandfather hired him.
Oh yes, the man was hired. He worked here from 1910 to about 1925, and you can see he did all the different techniques of painting and enamel work, and even used drapery glass the way Tiffany used it in the wings and the garment of the angel.
Is it hard to train someone to do this sort of work?
Yes, because it's meticulous work, and you have to do something over and over and over again until you get it right. Cutting is not something that's easy to learn. Once you learn it, it's fine, but you have to learn that each kind of glass cuts differently, each color has a different hardness to it. And glazing, the leading, is a difficult thing to learn, especially to make the solder joints look good.
So you have to go through a pretty long apprenticeship program, don't you?
Yeah, the apprenticeship program, the full official one, is about 5 years long.
Now, Ed, does everyone here have a special skill, or can you all interchange with each other, and one day you do this and one day you do something else?
Well, we all have our specialties, but we all can interchange. So one of us can move from the front room, which is designing, all the way to the finish of the product.
You started out as an artist who worked on canvas, and now you're working on glass.
I do both.
Well, do you like this? Does
Oh
this...
yes, it's a lot of fun. It really is, you know, especially if the freedom, your idea, they give you room to, you know, to express yourself the way you want it, you know. Sometimes you have to, you know, the customer paid for it, so you have to, you know,
Just follow it exactly.
follow a few things, yes.
But you put your own mark, so to
Oh yes,
speak.
definitely. Every artist make his own mark, yes.
Standing here in what is officially called the design room, because we are surrounded by thousands of designs, but you call it something else.
I call it a think tank.
Because this is where you...
Research and design.
How many windows do you figure you've designed in your career?
I would guess between 1,000 and 2,000, somewhere in there.
2,000 different windows?
Yeah, in 26 years, I would say.
Have you ever made a mistake in the sense that you've put something that theologically is not supposed to go there?
There was one where they were pretty sure when Christ was baptized, the water was above his knee, and we had it below the knee. So, and we count fingers and toes. Sometimes we have 6 fingers and 6 toes. So we really check out the windows before we send them out.
Stained glass will go on as long as we can make glass. There's a fascination with it. We know that it's been in existence over 1,000 years. And the idea of being able to put colors together and hold it up to the sunlight and see the light come through it is fascinating. It's almost a religious experience to deal with it. I think there is something almost otherworldly about seeing light coming through the medium you're looking at and changing as it goes through, becoming richer. And it's an awe-inspiring kind of thing in the right place. It can really be beautiful.
Videolog is made possible by Bullocks and Bullocks Wilshire, the gift-giving stores who believe in bringing excellence to viewers through public television.